I'm going to explain to you the basics of the cosine function. Here we have a graph, and it's measured in periodic, and halfway through is pi, and a complete cycle of cos is 2 pi. First, the cosine graph starts at 0,1. This could be considered an endpoint, and then it traverses through pi divided by 4 and makes the U-turn at this point, which is pi equal and -1. This is a basic cosine graph. And then it goes up, goes through 3 pi over 2, and the other endpoint is at 2 pi. The period of this function is 2 pi.
A periodic function is a function that repeats itself in an interval or period. So in the cosine function, this wave repeats in all the graph. So like this, we will have 3 pi here and 4 pi here. The graph will repeat, and so on in all the graphs.
Okay, so here we have a problem. We're going to get the amplitude period, the main range, endpoints, and average wave volume in the graph. The amplitude is 2, which means it will end here and here. And the period 2 pi is over b. It's equal to 4 pi. So from here, the domain, it's from minus 2 pi to 2 pi. Here. The range is from -3 to +1. The endpoints, because it's a cosine function, will end here and here. This is the average y value. So the vertical shift, and it will be like this. So the endpoints are -2 pi, 1, and 2 pi, 1.
We're going to start graphing it to make it easier. Now, in this case, our y-axis is going to represent the length of the first wheel, and our x-axis our period or time. So 3 feet above the ground, and we know that the diameter is 36 feet, so 36 plus 3 is equal to 39. And in here, our time, we know that at the second number 4, it reaches its highest point, and at the 14, it reaches its highest point again, which means that at the middle, it's going to reach its minimum point. The middle number, it's 9. We divided it by 2, which is equal to 18, and that's the number that we are going to add to 3 to get to 21, and that's the number that we're going to divide to 39 to get 21. So our amplitude is 18. Revolution takes 10 seconds, so this means that this is going to be the length of our cosine function for it to revolutionize again and go to its maximum point. So our period is 10. The cosine function goes like this. At number 9, minimum point, 3 feet above the ground, and number 14, or second 14, it reaches the top again. Do some algebra, and there we go, that's our b. So we are going to start and get our function. Then cos, the a is the amplitude, so 18. Then cos b, which is 2 pi over 10, times x, in this case minus c, because The c is our vertical shift, which in this case is 4, and because it is positive, we're going to put it as a negative. Minus 4 plus d, which is our vertical shift, which in this case, we know it's 3 feet above the ground. There we have it, that's our final function. And for our final question, what is the height of the first wheel at the second number 7? So, we know that it takes 10 seconds to reach to the top again, and 9 seconds to reach to its minimum point. So, this means that it travels from 39 feet to 3 feet, which is an equal of 36 feet, in 5 seconds. We started at the 39 feet, we subtract 39 minus 21.3, which gives us an equal of 17.7.
So we're looking for the Cosine function, being this one. We plot our basic info, which is 14 hours and 10 hours. Now we will start looking for D, that is our horizontal shift. So D is max plus min. So 14 plus 10 divided by 2. This giving us 24 divided by 2, 12. It's important to know that D is also our period. Now we will look for B. B is in the formula of period, so we can isolate B and look for it. So 2 pi and our period is 12, so we put 12 since we isolated, and then we get pi over 6. So this is our letter B. We will now look for amplitude, letter A, which is the same formula as letter D, but subtracting instead of adding. So maximum 14 minus 10 divided by 2. This giving us 4 over 2 equal to 2. So 2 is our amplitude. Now for look to letter C, we will visualize the graph. We plot every month in the x-axis and the hours in the y-axis. We plotted March and September in 12 hours, like the problem said, December in 10, and June in 14. Since it's a cost graph, it starts in the maximum point, and sin graph starts in the y value, this being the y value. So, this gap indicators that it shifts 5 units to the right. So, we know letter C shifts 5 spaces to the right, so it's negative 5. So now we have the formula over here. Negative 5 equals C over pi 6, that is our letter B. Now we will isolate for letter C. This giving us C equals 5 pi, negative 5 pi over 6. So this is our letter C. Now that we got all the information, we can start to plot in our function to get our final answer. So A is 2, so we got 2 cos parentheses. B, our B is pi over 6, x minus, because it's shifting to the right, so minus 5 pi over 6 plus 12, because it's shifting horizontally 12 spaces. And this is our final answer.
I learned a lot during this project. I enjoyed it a lot. Through explaining, I learned new things. I discovered new real-life applications of the topic, and I would love to do more projects like this.
This core activity, I learned many things, and one of them was to work as a team. We worked as a team of 5, and each person contributed with their own things, so we could complete the project. And this was a fun and innovative project, so I feel I like this very much.
During this project, I learned a lot about how to use the cosine functions in real life. I didn't know how much we could use them in real stuff, and I hope I have projects like this in the future.
During this project, I had a great time, a lot of fun, and I refreshed my mind with this topic. Also, I learned how to work in teamwork.
This project helped me to realize the different real-life applications of the cosine functions and helped me like understand from a different point of view, like like if I were teaching the cosine functions.